كل الفايلات بتاعتهم كل الفايلات. زين. فهذه الغرفة كان غرفة الأضابير يعني غرفة سرية جدا. كانوا مبين انه يسدون من وراء من يدخل الموظف ويسد من يطلع يعني الا موظف اختصاصي يشتغل بالاضابير.
The densest collection of files in this room concern those that probe into people's thoughts, التحري بأفكار الناس, and that is this collection here, plus that collection there.
The files record affiliations to opposition parties, family political loyalties, and personal weaknesses. Every shred of personal information seems useful to the secret police. These are family photographs taken from Kurdish prisoners to identify their next of kin for future reference.
This big fat file that we see here is called the Index of Saboteurs. So, and there follows the list of the name, parents, date of birth of all people who are in this local province, in this city.
And working with the three parties.
This one is entitled Names of Families Living in Erbil Settlements. Here we have the full name for the head of the family under this column. This column is the number of members in the family. This column is the name of the family and the tribe. The current location, residential location. The name of the persons arrested from the family. Further observations. So we'll see the number of members of family, 10, 12, 2, 5, 6. If you add all those, you get the total number of people in this file. Look at all these pages. So all these families, all these thousands of people recorded in this index have people who've been arrested. Another index called the Book of Records for those who've been executed. Flowery cover. It's like a high school notebook, which has then been penciled up and written in. Blue. Handwritten.
The documents show that punishment for an offence is routinely extended to the entire family.
Extremely secret in 1986. We enclose below the complete identity and detailed information on the two subjects of investigation, and we did not inform you previously of their running away with the complete information on their families until the third degree. The Ba'ath had a habit of establishing one's family relations, first degree being your mother, father, and sister, second degree being cousins, and then third degree being the next layer of cousins, and so on and so forth. And punishment went by scale of degree of relatives, so they would involve more and more relatives for more and more degrees, higher and higher degrees of your family.
The regular investigation of people's lives is extensive. We find cassettes of bugged telephone conversations between political leaders, but also the daily chat of ordinary people.
Such a strange feeling. You're listening into people's conversation, God knows how many years ago. Their tone, their feeling, and in a room like this. Two housewives chit-chatting over the phone, that's all it is. He gave him some money, his relatives gave him some money. Yes, he's your right. No, you mustn't.
What happens here is a mixture of fact and fiction, assembled together in files, which then create new facts that are then imposed back again upon the world, and they in turn create new fictions. What is this? Is this the way the world is, or is this the way the world is imagined? Or the way the world is constructed and decided it ought to be? You can't tell any longer. It's all one great big jumble. Look at the paper.
We move on to Suleymaniye, to one of the main regional secret police headquarters in Kurdistan. It's the source of many of the documents looted by the Kurds. The eye, ever watchful, is the symbol of the security system in Iraq. The headquarters here in Sulaymaniyah was the first thing to be torched when the town rose against the Iraqi regime in March last year.
So much pain has walked through these corridors. So much suffering written into the walls.
Prisoners with arms bound behind their backs were hung from these hooks and confessions beaten out of them.
This death cell reminds me of the Shiite shrines in Najaf and Karbala, which I used to visit in my youth.
The only time I've seen this is in these shrines, which are gold and silver, colored lights, decorated ceramics all over. People come up, they grab the bars like this, they scream, they shout, they kiss the bars, they scrape their heads like this against it. And then before leaving, they tie this, but they're usually pressing with thongs, grabbing from everywhere. I usually stand away, I get afraid from the scene, and pull back. To find it here, it's macabre. This is a religious habit, a ritual, a rite, and it's something else in this horrible place. This whole building is like a hospital. You're working. What's the purpose of it? You investigate human beings, you probe into them, you open them up. Physically, you violate the body. The way a surgeon goes into a sick patient, cuts him up, looking for something, disease, in his case, a physical disease. Finds it, closes him up, and then maybe the patient heals. Here, they're looking for some kind of truth. They call it a confession. They extract it also by physically operating on the body in these rooms, in these white-tiled rooms. And when they find it, when the person signs a confession, that's it.
On the way out of this dreadful place, I picked up a booklet extolling the ideology of the Ba'ath Party.
All the oppressed classes and peoples, those who have had their wealth stolen from them, those who have had the bread taken out of their mouths, those who have had their freedom stolen from them, look forward to the day when Arab history will return to its brilliance.
We're allowed access to other caches of documents throughout Kurdistan.
These people are agents who have been legally armed by the security forces. And this is the kind of arm, the number of the arm, and the degree of their connection with the party, its date of issue from and to. That's the name of the person, date of birth, and address. So these are armed killers. This is the diary of the military intelligence officer in Erbil. And it just concerns his daily notes, scribblings to himself of what he has to do, what's yet to be done, what his boss has just told him he has to do, and so on. So right here, for instance, on the 17th of January, 1990, is an entry that describes the instructions that he has been given as how to rig the elections for the Legislative Council for the Northern Autonomy Area. And we find such items as the importance of remembering not to wear your khaki military uniform and not to carry your arms because it will look very bad and it will not look like you're a genuine citizen. Another item in this notebook is the fact that anybody who doesn't participate in these elections will be dismissed.
The secret police use standardized forms to detail the personal weaknesses of individuals for blackmail.
Number one, material things, not inclined whatsoever. Number two, wine, doesn't drink. Number three, sex, not interested. Number four, playing of cards.
doesn't play. Item number 15 says, well, how can he be influenced and how can he be bought? And then the conclusion is, with money. This is a file of an organization, how it's been penetrated. And all the red circles say on it, one of ours. This is a very ominous document. They know there are 5 people here in this unit whose names are not known because the man responsible for them ran away. On the other hand, in this division of the group, they know the names of all 7 people who belong to this cell or whatever part of the military organization that they've discovered the structure of here. Now, why do they not know this? Because the man who was responsible, who could have told who these are, presumably these are organized on cell structure where no one else knows, has run away, has succeeded in getting away. Here, he has obviously been caught, tortured, and given the names. Here, I have the list of people who have been executed from this organization, the Kurdish branch. Obviously, it has been thoroughly penetrated, as this diagram indicates. They've tortured the people first, discovered the structure of the organization, and then executed them. And here, I have their personal papers of the dead people. Here is someone's notebook with telephone numbers. That's who the person is, presumably. Their identity cards, their school cards, very young. Remnants of a passport. So, people's letters, intercepted by the intelligence. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, to my dear son. I don't feel like reading it. 1985. Is it really even worth making sense of it all? Who would benefit from it? Just untold stories, boxes and boxes of people's lives extracted under torture and by furtive methods of one kind or another, by treachery, deceit, lying. That's what all of this is.
Our search for material from Saddam's Ba'ath Party and security archives extends into the Souk of Sulaymaniyah. Plunder from local security headquarters includes videos now on sale here.
Often states that routinely torture people have a mania for recording what they do on paper, in sound, and on videotape. The Ba'ath have a passion for video technology. I wonder how many tapes there are in the vaults of the secret police in Baghdad.
This is a home movie looted from the house of a secret policeman. It shows him and his colleagues enjoying a wedding party. Just a couple of years later, many of these partygoers were killed during the Kurdish uprising. Our search continues into Sulaymaniyah's video parlors. The customers are watching a video made by the secret police. The man being interrogated has been drugged.
Human beings the world over exhibit morbid fascination with violence, with cruelty. Could this kind of voyeurism be necessary for remembrance? People seem to want to know that it actually happened just like that. Each generation has to relearn the pain.
The Ba'ath video public executions for public distribution to extend their rule of terror.